With over 60 new shows and only this much time to watch them, we had to be really selective about which anime we were gonna put time into, and we're definitely not watching any shitty isekai or fantasy this time around.
作ってくれないか?
Drugs. The Apothecary Diaries is one of the best looking anime this season, and with its interesting subplots filled with Scooby-Doo-esque mysteries surrounding strange phenomena, it's definitely something that's caught our attention. The story takes place in ancient China where we follow Mao Mao, a young up-and-coming apothecary. Ever since she was a kid, her dad's been training her up to follow in his footsteps, and she's even gone so far as to experiment with different substances on her own body. Drugs are bad, kids, stay in school. Her family lives near the red light district, and Mao Mao is one day tasked with making a delivery to one of the brothels, cause you know, they probably need healing the most. On her way back, she gets kidnapped and sold off to the emperor's palace as a low-level servant in his concubine's estate, and she kinda just accepts it. Wait a second, did she just get isekai'd? She even acts like an isekai protagonist with her half-ass attitude. Well, looks like this line isn't true anymore. The emperor's palace might have this prestigious aura surrounding it, but in reality, it's actually very similar to the brothels that Mao Mao's used to living nearby. Here, a majority of the population are women, with the exception of the emperor's family and his quote-unquote male servants. I say quote-unquote because they're eunuchs. They're men that have had their trouser snakes and coconuts chopped off and smoothed out like a Barbie doll. The palace has a strict caste system where you have the emperor at the very top, high, mid, and low ranking concubines, and then at the very bottom are the serving girls and eunuchs, where most of the population actually lies. And of course, that's where Mao Mao begins. Now there is a way to move up in this world, however, and that's by utilizing your looks and personality sizes. Unfortunately for Mao Mao, neither of those are gonna work out for her. She's been cursed by what the ancient Chinese like to call the ugly.
The ugly!
So she kinda just accepts that she's gonna be stuck as an NPC, washing clothes and cooking food for the rest of her life.
They're only 3 months and 6 months old, right?
An old rumor resurfaces and spreads like a wildfire. A curse that's been plaguing the emperor's babies makes them fall ill and result in the loss of young souls. And now history is repeating itself as 2 of his concubines have children that are only months old and have both shown signs of sickness. With a cause nowhere to be found and time quickly running out, it's destined to repeat again. Can this curse ever be broken? It's heartbreaking hearing this, and as much as Mao Mao hates attention and wishes to spend the rest of her days like a bot, she sticks her neck out and decides to help investigate the issue. She figures it out, leaves a note identifying what the cause of illness was, and then gets caught and subsequently gets promoted to be a lady in waiting for one of the emperor's concubines. And now Mao Mao spends her days testing food for poison, cooking up drugs, and diagnosing diseases in patients like League of Legends streamers.
James, you have cancer.
Is this guy brain dead, the sinner?
The doctor, he called me today. He told me that my friend Hamza, Haram, he has AIDS.
Oh my god, IVs! I need the biggest cancer in my head!
Now, the Apothecary Diaries isn't some high-octane, fast-paced action anime that'll have you at the edge of your seat for 20 minutes. If you even had a single thought this anime was like that, what is wrong with you? It instead is a bit of a slow episodic burn that feels kinda like a slice of life anime, which involves a mystery in the beginning, a resolution in the middle, and an ending that sets up the next episode. A simple formula like this would typically be a red flag for me because I need something more stimulating, something that'll grab my attention and keep hold of it. Hey, but strangely enough, I'm not bored of it yet. There's a bit of a mystery mixed in with the story as Mao Mao is tasked with identifying issues and figuring out if there's any foul play in an incident, or if their mom's cooking just gave them the Chipotle special. Episode 2 is about solving the mystery of bad shits and stomach aches, and all Mao Mao has to do is ask a couple of questions and she's basically deduced what the problem was. She's like the Sherlock Holmes of medicine and diarrhea. But what makes this anime truly interesting is the different situations and gravity of the problems she's dealing with. Mao Mao is basically the resident doctor that helps everybody out, and for the most part, I think it's safe to say that she knows more about symptoms and treatments than anybody else in the palace. But when there's a smart doctor, there's bound to be ignorant people that don't like to listen or accept help from people who know more. And when people don't listen... Now, unlike in real life, Mao Mao can show this bitch what these hands are made for and drag her by the hair to prove she's not playing around, which is something I bet some doctors wish they could do to their patients. This act of passion from Mao Mao was something that was never really hinted at, as she usually has the patience of a saint. She gets more work put onto her, she unwillingly agrees. The servants kick her out for doing her job, she sighs and tries again. This bitch puts poison on a concubine's face? Now you've crossed the line. This other side of Mao Mao being revealed to the viewers is a big hint for things to come, as the character that was initially built up as apathetic and one-dimensional is slowly changing into who she really was from the beginning. And I'm sure she's not the only person that was written like this. Most of the characters that get a healthy amount of screen time seem like they have another side to them that us the viewer initially doesn't know about. And I have a hunch that the anime will get more into them as more episodes come out. But the one thing I really do enjoy about the characters are their aesthetics. The people that are higher ranking or served a greater purpose in the palace look and dress completely different compared to each other, but they all look amazing in their own way. And the servants that dress the same look the same because that's how it was back in ancient China. If you were an NPC, which most of the population was, you probably looked like your neighbor. Which is where the stereotype that all Asians look alike came from. Yeah, that's all we really wanted to say in this video.
The Apothecary Diaries is a solid show. The visuals are great, the music is phenomenal, and the story is fun to watch overall. It's like watching a documentary from an ancient Chinese doctor's point of view, which is always interesting because the culture is so deeply rooted in the way it handles things like medicine. So if you like Chinese history mixed with a doctor's version of drama and mystery, give this anime a go. We've been the Chung Bros, and we'll see you guys in the next one.